And welcome to Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swat with the Sacramento Report, and my guest this segment is Fiona Ma, the Speaker Pro Tem of the Assembly from San Francisco. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
I thought we'd talk about a couple of issues that you're involved with. One, to start off with, is your, partnership with the National Child ID Program.
Exactly. I passed a resolution last month proclaiming May as the Child Safety Awareness Month. And what we're trying to do is to give out kits to all parents of K through 12 kids to fingerprint and swab their children. And the motto is be prepared, not scared. You hope an abduction never happens, but in case it does, you have the information ready to give to law enforcement.
It's amazing if you look at the numbers. I mean, nationally, over 800,000 kids are either abducted or runaways.
Exactly, and close to 100,000 here in California. So the National Child Identification Program has been working in other states. And so we're going to bring it to California.
And I understand it started off a little slow, but it really is picking up. I mean, you have a lot of parents are getting these kits and fingerprinting their kids.
Exactly. So we have partnered with Superintendent of Public Schools, Tom Torlakson, on this issue, and we're going to hopefully try to get this out to as many kids and schools as we can.
And the FBI really believes that fingerprinting is the way to go. That's how do you get kids back.
Yes, and that's another partner. The FBI Citizens Academy Alumni Association is also a partner with us.
That's great. Let's segue to another issue. As we tape this interview, the U.S. Supreme Court is poised to act one way or the other on the Affordable Care Act, the President's Affordable Care Act. But I know a number of states, including California, are moving forward with trying to enact provisions no matter what the court does.
Right.
And you have, I know, one piece of legislation dealing with out-of-pocket expenses.
Yes, so we're hoping for the best, but prepared for the worst. And so my bill would cap out-of-pocket medical costs, align it to the federal numbers. An individual would be $5,950, and for families would be $11,900. Currently, each year, individuals are spending up to $45 billion in out-of-pocket medical costs on their credit cards, and medical costs are still the #1 reason for bankruptcy in America.
The insurers and some of the opposition to your bill would say that when you place another mandate, that it's going to cost the premiums are going to have to go higher.
Well, these days, you can never prepare for a disease or an accident. And so having adequate health insurance and being able to prepare and pay for the surgeries, the x-rays, the prescription medication is very, very important to a person's quality of life and getting them back to work. So we think that this is good for consumers and just trying to protect consumers.
And currently, there are no limits on these costs at all.
There are no limits, right. And so insurance companies can increase the costs. There are a lot of biologic drugs that are out of reach for people right now. And so
HIV, for example, very expensive, I know.
Very, very expensive. And so enabling consumers to afford their medication is actually going to, I think, help the individual, but also help the whole cost containment.
Well, I know there are other bills that are moving through the legislature dealing with different provisions of the Affordable Care Act. No matter what the Supreme Court says, your bill is out of the Assembly, correct?
It is out of the Assembly. Right. It's going to be heard in the Senate, and so far we've had very good support, and so we're hoping to get it to the governor's desk.
Oh, that's great. Well, Fiona Ma, thanks for coming by, talking about both of these issues. Very important, obviously. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
And thanks to our viewers for watching Local Edition on Time Warner Cable. I'm Steve Swat, and remember that you can see this and similar interviews on My Government on Demand, also on YouTube. Have a great day.